There was a time when one mass shooting would shock the conscience of much of America. However, those times are long gone. America is used to hearing news reports of mass shootings. Although the tragedy of these violent acts is never diminished, people in this country have been used to their occurrence. Hey guys, welcome to Good Listening podcast. I hope you're having a great day, and if you're not, don't worry because I'm going to take care of it by bringing you an interesting topic about mass shootings and gun violence in the USA in basic English to help you improve your listening skills. Let's get started. Before discussing why there are so many mass shootings in America, it's important to understand what a mass shooting is. Despite the frequency of these events, there is not an official definition about it. There are many definitions, but the difference between them is just a little. The first one is the number of victims. Many of the definitions require 4 victims for a shooting to qualify as a mass shooting. However, Congress legally defines a mass shooting as having 3 or more victims. And, according to certain definitions, the shooting victims must also be homicide victims, whereas other definitions stipulate that they only need to be shot. According to the former, an incident with 40 shooting injuries and no deaths would fail to qualify as a mass shooting. Other requirements of some definitions deal with the location of the shootings. For instance, Congress' definition requires the shootings to be in one or more locations near one another. However, the real important question is, why are there so many mass shootings in America? The thing is that determining why there are so many mass shootings in America is even more difficult than coming up with a universal accepted definition for the term mass shootings. But what most scholars and professionals agree is that there are many reasons for these shootings. The first one is the accessibility of guns. That means it is very easy for you to get a gun in the USA. The number of guns in civilian hands are nearly 4,000 million. Although gun laws regulate the buying, selling, and gifting of firearms, the truth is to get a gun is very easy because there are many guns available in the marketplace. In other words, there are so many guns in America that the law can effectively prevent them from being sold or acquired legally. Between 2002 and 2009, the 5 deadliest mass shootings in the USA involved the use of assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, often AR-15 style semi-automatic rifles. These weapons are capable of firing very fast and are frequently equipped with high-capacity magazines. California has forbidden assault weapons in some ways since 1989 and has frequently updated its restrictions. Lawmakers are currently considering new regulations about ghost guns. These are weapons produced outside of the regular manufacturing process that have no serial numbers and cannot be easily traced. Ironically, most of the guns used in mass shootings over the past 50 years were legally obtained. Reason number 2 is hate. America is no stranger to hate crimes. With that being said, hate homicides, although shocking, are historically rare. However, hate against a group of people has been the reason underlying many of the mass shootings in the past few years. The horrifying mass shooting in a Buffalo supermarket in a black neighborhood in May of 2022 reminded the nation that many mass shootings are not random at all. Instead, they are carried out to destroy the lives of a particular group of people. or groups of people. Reason number 3 would be mental health issues. America is often criticized as woefully under-equipped to deal with citizens who have mental illness. Perhaps this explains why it is difficult to understand why some individuals become mass shooters. Some individuals who had mental problems were not diagnosed previously. Some of them showed signs of mental illnesses and they never were treated. The fact that mental illness can sometimes lead to mass shootings is evidenced by the fact that some shooters were declared incompetent to be judged during the legal process. In March of 2021, a mass shooter murdered 10 people in a grocery store in Boulder, Colorado. The shooter, who is facing 10 counts of murder, was declared incompetent to be judged. Not long before that, another mass shooter in Colorado was declared incompetent to be judged. His case has been on hold from the time he shot and killed 3 people at an abortion clinic in 2015. Reason number 4 has something to do with criminal groups and criminal activity. It is not uncommon to see mass shootings occurring in the world of crime. Criminal groups across the country are armed to the teeth with both legal and illegal firearms. Due to the nature of criminal activity in this country, gun homicides often occur, and many have victims enough to qualify as mass shootings. In these types of shootings, the motivation for the homicides are easily understood by authorities, experts, and the public people in general. Rarely are the intended victims random individuals. For example, the case at a flea market in Harris County, Texas in May of 2022. In that incident, 2 people were killed and several injured in a gun battle that started with a fight between 2 groups of people. No bystanders were injured or killed, and enough people were shot to qualify this event as a mass shooting according to some definitions. Yet, despite these tragedies, nothing is being done to change the gun laws in America. Why? Mainly for 2 reasons. Number 1, the gun industry and gun associations such as the NRA are very powerful. And secondly, guns are an important part of the country's identity. Indeed, in the 18th century, when the U.S. nation was created, Americans lived in a wild land full of enemies and dangers. Weapons such as guns were essential for protection and survival. This is why the right to keep and bear firearms became part of the U.S. Constitution. The problem is that today some people say the idea that Americans need guns to protect themselves is ridiculous. Some people say this is the 21st century and the US is supposed to be a country which understands that the proliferation of guns causes more crime and insecurity, not less. They also say that this statistical truth has been proven over and over in other developed countries where strict gun laws are in place. With so many different reasons why mass shootings occur in America, it is impossible to come up with one solution to the problem. Gun legislation has not contained the problem, and neither have education campaigns. There may not be a solution for the country as a whole. However, communities may be able to be together and protect themselves. Thank you for listening to Good Listening podcast. If you like these topics to improve your English, don't forget to support the podcast. Goodbye.